Hey folks, welcome to my first video. I hope you enjoy this ride at least half as much as I do. I'm taking you on a little adventure, a bike ride along the banks of Belgrade's rivers. But just to spice things up, we're actually starting from Novi Sad. I'm riding across this beautiful Zemun bridge, and before I tell you what we've got planned for today's ride, let me share a few interesting things about this bridge. Branko Zemun, the man this bridge is named after, was a civil engineer and constructor. He specialized in pre-stressed concrete. He held many patents that made it possible for this kind of concrete to be used in massive structures like this one. Besides this bridge, another famous structure he designed is the dome of the Belgrade Fair, also made from pre-stressed concrete. When the original Zemun bridge was first tested under full load, Branko sat in a boat under it. Yeah, really, he literally sat underneath his own construction, proving just how much faith he had in his work. Respect. Unfortunately, that bridge was destroyed in 1999 during the NATO bombing, along with all other bridges in Novi Sad. The new bridge we're crossing now was built in 2018. It carries the same name, but it has nothing to do with Branko Zemun, since it's made of steel, not concrete, the material Branko was known for. And here's a crazy story. A guy from Novi Sad, Boris Radovanovic, first rode a motorcycle, then drove a Yugo car over the concrete arches of the original Zemun bridge. Yep, you heard that right. He didn't drive on the road, but on top of the massive concrete arches that hold the road up. Wild. All right, let's get back to our little adventure. You're about to see a bike trip that can fill up your whole day, and it'll cost you less than a round of drinks at a cafe. The return train ticket is around 1,500 dinars. The idea is simple: make the day fun and full. So, we're biking to Petrovaradin, to the train station there, since the Novi Sad station is still not in use. We'll load the bikes on the train and get off at New Belgrade. The plan is to ride along the rivers. Of course, traffic and exhaust fumes? We avoid those like the plague. First, we ride along the Sava River to Ušće, then continue down the Danube side, all the way to the end of the Zemun quay. After that, we head back toward Branko's bridge, cross to the other side, and ride to the cultural station Silosi. From there, we go through Belgrade Waterfront all the way to Ciganlija. Once we're at Ada, quick swim, chill time, recharge, and that's where our trip should end. Then we head straight across the bridge to the train station and back to Novi Sad. That's the plan. But hey, we'll see if we actually manage to pull it all off. Of course, right from the start we realized we were already running late, so we had to step on it to catch the train. Now we're flying full speed through Petrovaradin, racing toward the station to catch the Soko. There's another train soon after, but it travels slower and stops more often. And since we're riding with bikes, the best option is this intercity one. It stops only in Novi Sad and Belgrade. We're almost at the station. I buy tickets online, never too early, because I'm always low-key afraid I'll be late. Now that I see we'll make it, I stop, pull out my phone, click, click. Tickets are bought through the app. We get on the train and stash the bikes in the hallway between the cars, since the bike space is already taken by some luggage. But it's no big deal. This train only stops in Belgrade, no new passengers are getting on, and our bikes won't be in anyone's way. I sit back, relax, enjoy the ride that lasts less than half an hour, and before you know it, we're in New Belgrade. We're getting off the train, carrying the bikes down the stairs, and slowly setting off on our little adventure. Right after getting out, I'm looking for the quickest way to reach the river, to escape the hot asphalt and the noise of the traffic. We're riding along New Belgrade's bike lanes when a girl passes us. With tattoos so oddly placed that we joked she looked like a passport. Here I'm crossing one of those weird traffic lights where we had to wait through 3 green lights just to cross one street. And now I'm wondering, should I have even crossed? Because it looks like there's no bike path on the other side anyway. Right here I missed the turn a bit, so we're heading back. I actually enjoy exploring and going down paths less traveled. So now I decide to take this small, half-rural New Belgrade road. Whenever I explore new places and unknown routes, I use the Strava app. It shows routes from other users, so it's pretty easy to see if a path is passable or not. That's how I found this wild off-road path that leads to the river. Then I suddenly realize I forgot to turn on my route recording app, so the recorded route will start from this point. We cross over an embankment where an old railway track used to run and head toward the river. Later, I realized we could have turned right under the railway bridge and cycled straight along the river, but I didn't know that at the time, so we took the longer asphalt route. We're descending down to the quay. I head to the right just to see how far you can ride, and I reach a dead end with a fence and some workers doing something on the old railway bridge. I greeted them, asked what's going on, and one of them told me they're turning that bridge into a pedestrian and bike bridge, which should be completed in about a year and a half. The whole structure will be reconstructed, repainted, and raised by 2.5 meters, so boat traffic underneath can continue smoothly. There'll also be some galleries and cultural events on the bridge, which sounds really cool. Can't wait to ride across it one day. I continue down the Sava River. To my right, the view of Belgrade Waterfront, rising from the riverbank. Then we hit another construction site. They're dismantling the old Sava Bridge too. So we're forced to take a detour. The old Sava Bridge was built by Nazi Germany during the occupation in World War II. Since the previous bridge had been destroyed, it became the only link between the two riverbanks for both car and tram traffic. The Germans called it Prince Eugen, while locals called it the German or Swabian Bridge. After the war, when new bridges were built, this one became known as the Old Sava Bridge, though some kept calling it the Tram Bridge. Now it's being dismantled, and the plan is to relocate it between the Sava Quay and Great War Island, where it would serve as a pedestrian and bike bridge. I really hope that happens, but we'll see how it turns out in the end. After the detour, we're back on the bike path along the Sava, cruising slowly toward the confluence. I'm enjoying a gorgeous view of the Kalemegdan fortress, which is now on our right. Time for a quick break, some ice cream in the shade, and then we keep going. We ride through Zemun Quay. Because of the crazy heat, there aren't many people. It's almost empty. We reach the very end of the quay and decide to take a coffee break. We circle around a bit looking for the perfect spot and finally settle on this cafe called Wolf. The break went smoothly, no incidents, and we really enjoyed watching the Danube slowly flow past us. Right after the coffee and lemonade, we link it up with one more break for a beer. It's hot, and honestly, a short rest while we wait for the sun to cool down isn't a bad idea. After this double break, we head back the same way, toward Branko's Bridge, where we plan to cross to the other side of the river. Now the sun has started to lose strength, and you can see more people walking and cycling along the quay. We're enjoying the peace and quiet. All you can hear is the click of our gears and the birds singing. Of course, me being me, I have to go explore some wild path, and like an idiot, I fall. Like a kid. But hey, survived it with just a small scratch. The view from this little hidden beach isn't bad at all. The sun's getting low, and we're catching some nice shade while riding. We're slowly entering the Sava Promenade again, and once more enjoying the view of Kalemegdan, this time from the left side. It's interesting how many of these floating barges are sunken and not in use. No idea why that is. If anyone knows, drop it in the comments. We're slowly climbing Branko's Bridge. Of course, there's traffic noise, but it's all worth it because of the amazing view of the other side, the new buildings, and this whole new city growing before our eyes. We go down the stairs off Branko's Bridge to the old Belgrade riverbank. The plan is to head right and try to reach the cultural station Silosi. I've never been there before, but it looks like a cool place, especially because of the artificial climbing wall that's 28 meters high. I'm planning to climb it soon, so I'm curious if it's accessible by bike from this side. We pass under Kalemegdan Fortress, and above us, the Pobednik statue is waving to the brave cyclists. There are some archaeological digs going on here, right at the base of the fortress. Honestly, I don't know what it's about. If someone does, feel free to drop it in the comments. We ride past Kalemegdan and along the Danube Quay, gradually entering Dorchol. Then we pass the May 25th Sports Center, a beautiful piece of architecture designed by the famous architect Ivan Antić. We pass underneath the gym that probably has the best view in the city. We keep riding along the Danube Quay, trying to get to the Silosi. I'm not sure if you can actually reach them by bike this way, but that's what we're here to find out. It's nice here, lots of trees, and the river view is just amazing. But, to our disappointment, the path ends here. It's not possible to go any further along the river. We've reached the end of the quay, but that doesn't mean the adventure's over. Of course not. We're not giving up. I'm checking the map, looking for a detour to Silosi. The detour isn't long. We'll be there soon. It's not as pleasant to ride this way as it is by the river, but it's not terrible either. Not much traffic. And finally, we reach Silosi. For those who don't know, these are old, abandoned grain silos that used to be used for storage. Today, thanks to the Gaia movement, they've been turned into an awesome, unique cultural center. They host galleries, concerts, workshops. What's most interesting to me personally is the 28-meter-high climbing wall. That's something I have to try. When I come back to climb, maybe I'll shoot a more detailed video about Silosi. We're taking a short break here, enjoying the river view, then heading back. Well, not back. We're heading toward Ciganlija through Belgrade Waterfront. We're going back the same way, but somehow it feels completely different, like we haven't already passed here 20 minutes ago. On our left is the Nebojša Tower, which people often call Nebojša's Tower, but that's actually not correct. It's not named after a guy named Nebojša. It comes from the old word nebojatise, meaning fearless. So it's the tower that fears no one. We continue along the base of Kalemegdan, where the skyscrapers of Belgrade Waterfront start rising out of the river. Now we're getting hungry, so we stop at Bella Vita, a restaurant right on the river. Beautiful view from the garden. We're sipping beer while waiting for our meal. A beef burger wrapped in pizza dough. And it was amazing. Hit the spot like a slap from a friend. Now that we've eaten, drank, and rested, we're fully recharged. If we manage to jump in the river or lake later, we'll be as good as new. We climbed the spiral bike path across the street, thinking we could ride all the way up to the fortress. But when we saw the stairs, we gave up. We'll leave that for another day. We're back on the riverside path, heading toward Ciganlija. It's honestly a pleasure to ride these well-maintained bike lanes. River on the right, city growing on the left. But because of the construction sites, we can't go straight through. We have to take yet another detour. Since we're nearby, we'll stop by the old railway station and the monument to Stefan Nemanja. Naturally, we're surrounded by construction. Everything's being built at once. Can't wait for it all to be finished so we can fully enjoy the beauty of the architecture here. We reach the monument, and every time I see it, I'm impressed. It's massive, powerful. We take another quick break because honestly, the magic's in the breaks. We can't go any further because of the roadworks, so we're heading back the same way we came. Every time I ride through here, I'm surprised by how much space there used to be before Belgrade Waterfront was built. We reach the Belgrade Tower, and once again, we're back by the river. I personally love rivers and lakes, and here, everything is so perfectly coordinated. Architecture and water, a real pleasure to ride through. We pass by the Gallery Mall. Sun is much weaker now, so it's a lot more pleasant outside, and you can tell by the number of people walking and cycling. We continue on, but, surprise, another detour because of construction. Not sure if you've been counting, but I think this is our third detour so far. Last time I rode from Kalemegdan to Ada, you could follow the bike path the whole way along the river. Now, 3 detours. Hopefully next time, there'll be none. We're finally past the last one, back by the river, and ahead of us, we start to see the pylon of Ada Bridge. For those who don't know, Ada Bridge was, at the time it was built, the largest single pylon bridge in the world. Maybe that's changed since, I don't know. We missed the bike path a bit here, so we had to carry and push our bikes for a while. Not a big deal, because we were right next to the Danube, passing by little floating bars and boats. We're back on the bike path, and that's it. We made it to Ciganlija. Just a quick stop at the fountain to fill up our bottles and splash some water on our faces. Then we're off for a chill ride around the lake to the other side. That side's sunny, and it'll be way nicer to take a swim there. There's not much of a crowd. We're cruising slowly through a beautiful setting. Everywhere you look, cafes, ice creams, gardens, restaurants, boiled and roasted corn, donuts. But we're resisting all that just fine and pushing on, because the sun's about to set and we still want to take a dip. Night swimming wasn't really part of the plan, and the closer we get to the far end of the lake, the fewer people we see. Peace and quiet, the sun gently touching nature, birds chirping. We pass the nudist beach at Ada, fenced off by thick greenery. We're reaching the end of the lake. Lots of cyclists and bikers enjoying the day. Also here at the end, there's a cable for water skiing. Haven't tried it yet, but I definitely will next time when we've got more time. Now we're on the sunny side, and the scenery's like a fairy tale. We're looking for a calm spot, no crowd, with a changing cabin. We stop, find the cabin, well, it's more like a half cabin. No big deal. We change real quick. Nothing to be shy about. We walk down to the water. It's amazing. Warm, with the sun gently shining. Can't wait to jump in. After the swim, I feel like a brand new person. Honestly, I could do another lap right now. This water really heals. The only downside, the lake has lots of underwater plants. They wrap around your legs. Could be scary for inexperienced swimmers. But hey, just stick to the shallow and cool off. No biggie. What I especially love is that there's no music here, no cafes, just the sound of nature, peace, and quiet by the water. The sun's slowly setting, and we're soaking in a phenomenal sunset. It's dark now. We're slowly heading back. Still got plenty of time before our train, so we'll take one last ride around Ada, then head over to New Belgrade via the bridge. The nightlife is just starting to pick up. Cafes are filling up. It's dark now, so we've switched to night ride mode, but it's still great. We're heading over to the other side of Ada Ciganlija, the one that faces New Belgrade. Perfect amount of time for that. Better than just waiting at the train station. It's quiet here, pitch black, nobody around. We're riding along the other shore, and it's time to head to the station. To avoid getting lost, I fire up Strava, the app. It shows me paths other people have taken, ones that are rideable, because I don't know these routes around Ada too well, especially not in total darkness. We're climbing up the bridge, nice and slow, and crossing over to the New Belgrade side. Of course, we're going over the Ada Bridge, that tall one with the single pylon we mentioned earlier. The bike lane is really well designed. The incline's gentle, so the climb isn't tiring at all. It's a bit dark, hard to see much, but hey, what can you do? It's nighttime. We're off the bridge, and here we are in New Belgrade. The train station is right there as soon as you get off the bridge. This time, I know what I'm doing. Booking tickets through the app. We got here a bit early, so we'll have to wait maybe 20-30 minutes. But hey, better that than missing the train. Once again, we caught Soko, the intercity that runs straight from Belgrade to Novi Sad and gets there in less than 30 minutes. Still don't get how you're supposed to figure out which platform your train arrives at. There's no info anywhere. Or maybe I just couldn't find it. We ended up on the wrong platform. Some guy explained, this one's for trains from Novi Sad. The one over there is for trains to Novi Sad. So, bikes on shoulders, down the stairs, up the stairs again. We enjoy a quick ride, and soon we're in Petrovaradin. And again, bikes on shoulders, down the steps, back up again. We're slowly riding from Petrovaradin to Novi Sad. No traffic, really pleasant. A bit tricky though, there's no bike lane, so we have to ride on the road. On the right, there's the turnoff for the Petrovaradin fortress, but we pass through the Belgrade gate and enter the old town of Petrovaradin. We climb up the Duga Bridge, and right ahead, Novi Sad appears, lit up in all its glory. And that wraps up this amazing ride. We're honestly full of impressions. It was fantastic. Hope this video helps someone out there, maybe even you, to push yourself into a little adventure like this, to brighten your day, maybe even your life. You can see our route map right here, and if you've got suggestions, ideas, compliments, critiques, drop them in the comments. And of course, if you liked this video, if it inspired or motivated you, if it made you want to plan something similar, that would honestly mean the world to me. Until the next little tour, little adventure. Take care.